I'm going to go over how to stop gambling. Gambling is really hard to stop because there's a lot of things that are going on at once. It's a form of entertainment, right? Something to do when you get bored. It's a way to try to make money in a world where money feels like it's becoming harder and harder to come by. And sometimes it's even a way to deepen your connections with friends and even a way to make new friends in a time when more people are isolated and feeling lonely. And nobody ever wants to admit that they have a gambling problem, right? It's something that you just do for fun until it's not fun anymore. And when you get to that point and you're thinking about how to stop gambling, we have to first take a second to understand why you're gambling in the first place. And to do this, one of the first things that we want to think about is identifying your triggers. What are the things that happen right before you decide to place a bet? Is it a notification on your phone from a gambling app? What about that notification made you want to actually click it to open the app? Or maybe it was just opening your phone at all and seeing the app there in the first place. In that case, the question becomes, well, what was it that made you open your phone, right? You want to look at the different layers of your triggers as well. Maybe it was just your boys starting up conversation in the group chat. Or maybe you saw something on TV about an upcoming game and you felt that the popular opinion was wrong about something, so you go and place a bet. You want to dig deep here and really spend the time to identify your triggers, because this is going to be the most important part of thinking about how to stop gambling. Because what you're dealing with here is an entire psychological loop, right? The first thing is stress, boredom, or excitement. And then you feel this impulse. And then once you place the bet, you're going to get this dopamine spike. And that's whether you win or lose. It's really just the uncertainty is the thing that gets to you. Then once it's over, you just want to chase the high again. It doesn't really matter if you won or lost. It's legitimately just the thrill of the game. And to be clear, it's very rarely that the money has anything to do with it. Your brain isn't chasing more money. It's really just chasing that feeling, that excitement, or that escape from the boredom. So once you've identified your triggers, you can step in and cut this entire psychological loop off from the beginning. So that's the first thing that we want to focus in on, is how to remove triggers and make it physically hard to gamble. And so some practical steps are self-excluding from gambling platforms. Most sports books and casinos have permanent exclusion programs. If it's stuff online or like apps on your phone, you can install blocking software. You can also block gambling transactions from your bank or your credit card as well. You can also delete sportsbook and betting apps completely if blocking them on your phone or on your computer is not enough. So the goal here is to create friction between impulse and action. Now, the second thing that you can do, now that you've decided that you want to quit the gambling, well, you got to make sure that you find something to replace that dopamine source with. It's really hard to remove gambling without replacing that stimulation in some way, right? So you want to find healthy replacements that mimic the same reward loop. Things like exercise, or strategy games that have no money involved, or competitive hobbies like chess, or even just building something, building a business, making content, or starting coding projects, becoming a software developer. People relapse most often when they just remove the gambling, but don't remove the boredom from the equation. Now, the next thing you can do is to also be intentional about separating yourself from money, right? So let a trusted person control access to large sums of money, or move funds into accounts that are harder to access. You can use spending limits or even prepaid cards as well as a way to cap how much money you have access to. The next thing, and this is really important, is to join a support system of some sort. So recovery success rates increase dramatically when you have community. And that could be things like Gamblers Anonymous, it could be therapy with addiction specialists, or it could even be online communities that are focused on gambling recovery. These groups help to break the isolation and shame that fuels addiction. So let's recap real quick. You want to identify your triggers. It's really important. And then once you've identified them and gone deep to figure out what it really is, then you want to remove those triggers and make it harder to gamble from a physical perspective, right? Download blocking apps and things of that nature. And then you want to replace the dopamine. Find something else that can allow you to get that chemical rush, whether it's running, working out, hanging out with friends in an environment where there's no gambling going on, whatever it may be. And don't be afraid to ask for help with that. And then the next thing is separate yourself from your money. Put money into unique accounts that you can't easily access, or even give someone else access over some of your accounts and hold you accountable. And then the next thing is to join a support system. Once again, you really want to make sure that you're not trying to do this alone, because that's what makes it really, really difficult. You want to make sure that you try to prevent being isolated. That's the main thing that keeps people trapped. It's just not having a support group. This gambling epidemic is getting way out of hand, and we wanted to do something about it. So we created an app called No Dice that helps you to track and manage your gambling habits and to also build community while you do so. And because we care about this, we actually decided to give the first 500 memberships away for free. So if you're watching this, you can click the link in the description or in the pinned comments to actually join the wait list for the app and get access to this completely free. And if this was helpful for you, hit that like button and let me know in the comments down below. And if you think this might be helpful for someone else, then definitely share this video with them so that they can get access to No Dice for free. Anyways, hope that was helpful. Until next time, peace.